Hi everybody. But yes, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi everyone, my name is Jackie. I am a TikToker and an Instagram influencer. You can find me on most socials using the username Jackie_Elana_Chan. And I am a Shibari rope top and educator on Instagram, and that is where I met the lovely October's 13th, and we recently collaborated together. So happy to be here.
Oh, very, very excited to sit down and just kind of chat with you over some stuff and just kind of share with everybody not only kind of how everything somewhat went, but just general information that I know, stuff that you're very passionate talking about.
Very
and
much
so.
We're slowly convincing
There we go.
October in order to get these little dangly things.
Yes.
I think we should absolutely do it. If you agree, you should type 1 in chat.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes, you two look amazing. Thank you so very much, everybody. Be lurking. All right. Sounds good. And yes, I did want to ask, though, when getting into everything, I know that you have touched upon it with me.
Yeah.
But in regards to getting into, because everyone's obviously seen the Shibari and all the other things that maybe you particularly do that maybe people are not so quite aware of, what drew you into it from just not doing it at all?
Are we talking about Shibari specifically, or are we talking about...
Oh, let's go over all of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, my beginning story for Shibari is pretty typical, I would say. A partner wanted to try something different in the bedroom, but like a lot of couples, our communication wasn't like the best. You're like, oh no, we're great at communicating. Well, we didn't know who was tying, so we got the cotton rope that you can get. It's literally called a bondage kit, like at Adam and Eve. And once we got home, we were just kind of like, okay, so who's doing it? And then they plopped their happy butt on the bed. They're like, tie me. I'm just like, huh? So it was sloppy, and I didn't know what I was doing because there wasn't any education on it. We just wanted to incorporate it, but there wasn't any way for us to learn. And I think we were also just a little bit impatient, like a lot of people are. It's like, oh, you'll just add it and it'll be great. Well, it flopped and we didn't touch it again. Then maybe 2 years later, I took the bondage kit when we separated, and I started practicing because I was stubborn and a little bit prideful. So I wanted to just like kind of practice on myself, and I found that the feeling of rope helped me with my test anxiety. And I'm a kinesthetic learner. For anyone else who doesn't know what that is, it basically means that you learn best when you're moving. So if you're wanting to memorize things, pace around the room while you're trying to learn definitions in school, etc. And I found that the movement of working with rope while studying helped me with my anxiety, but also with the ability to learn things. And it wasn't until after graduating college that my friend, who happened to be a resident assistant with me, was like, hey, so there's literally a whole rope community that you can learn from. And I got into also impact play with like floggers and paddles and things like that, because they kind of go hand in hand. So the rope community is intermingled with a bunch of other various kind of dynamics and kinks as well. So I started learning maybe just like shortly after. So I've had 3 years of impact experience and 5 years of rope experience. But the way I would describe it is something very vulnerable and something freeing as well, because you're trusting someone to help you push you past your limits consensually when you yourself may not be able to. It is a huge trust exercise.
Yeah, no, and I think that anyone could see, I think, from the stuff
that we've
done, that, yeah, very trusting. Definitely have to pick your people carefully.
Very much
I will
so.
Say.
Vetting? Does anyone know what vetting is?
Yeah. I wanted to be, I did want to ask, what are like non-negotiables that you would say to other people, or recommend that people be aware of when interacting with others, non-negotiable safety measures?
So for myself or in general, because if people don't know what vetting is, I'm going to first start that. Let's
start with that.
So when it comes to exploration, this is a very vulnerable journey that you are choosing to go on, and whomever you take along the way or meet along the way doesn't always mean, even if they have a lot of experience in the scene and the community, that doesn't always mean that they are a safe person. So vetting is the process of asking questions to see if you are aligned with that person. Honestly, there are examples of vetting in the vanilla world. Interviews, background checks. That is a form of vetting, but it just happens to be in a professional flavor and sense. So you want to see if this work environment matches who you are, your morals, and if you would be happy working there. The same thing can be done and should be done when you are wanting to explore rope, impact, anything like kink or Twitch and everything.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, yep.
Related, you should be interviewing the people that you are wanting to work with, because experience doesn't necessarily equal morals or ethics. So
that was so eloquently. That was fantastic.
I am so passionate about this, and I think everyone should have the ability to safely explore, and I wish that there was more education on it, because the only people that profit and are benefited by us not knowing how to negotiate or vet are the people who want to harm us or who are disguised abusers. So be skeptical. I thoroughly encourage it. In fact, when people want to tie with me, I equally vet them. You don't just vet the top is also vetting the bottom. One of the things for myself is that if someone wants to tie with me, I ask them, do you know where your nerve points are? Do you happen to know if you have a hypersensitive nerve at all? Do you know your finger checks? And I'm talking specifically about rope, since that's primarily what I do. Mm-hmm. But if they do not know that, I will not tie with them, because I need you to advocate for yourself. I need you to know the signs of, hey, my ulnar nerve is being pinched because this is going numb. My ring and pinky finger, can you adjust it? If you don't know where your nerves are, you can't properly advocate for yourself and then communicate to me that, hey, this line of rope needs adjusting. We did that when we were tying.
Yes, we did.
I was teaching you the finger checks, mm-hmm. and we were talking about like circulation. Mm-hmm. There was actually some questions on a post that we did where your arm was slightly purple, mm-hmm. and everyone's like, "Oh my God, October's limb! What's going on?" And they were panicked, and that's okay, perfectly fine. When it comes to circulation with Shibari, purple just means that there is rich oxygen blood going into the limb. And if anyone is squeamish about blood, tune out just for a second. I'll give you a thumbs up when I'm done. Oxygen-rich blood is going into the limb, but because of the Shibari or the rope placement, it's just having a harder time coming back to the body. But that means that there's still oxygen-rich blood going to the limb. When you see gray or white limbs, that means no blood is able to go into the limb, and that is where you can have severe nerve damage and mobility issues, because you're not giving your body the blood it needs. Okay, we're done.
Oh no!
I gave them thumbs up.
No,
I told them.
Yeah, I know.
Proper communication.
You're good. What? Say again? Proper communication. Yes, that is key. Resolving so many. One might say almost all issues. Like.
Yeah. Right.
It's. In terms of the vetting process,
sure.
Is there any like specific in your experience of tying and everything that comes along with all the other aspects of what you do? Are there any particular red flags that really stand out to you with whether finding a rigger, dom, sub, or
red flags?
Mm-hmm.
So
where you'd be like incredibly apprehensive, because obviously, as you mentioned before, everyone should be apprehensive and just be very skeptical and make sure that you're, deducing everything for a sense of your safety.
Yeah, so for myself, I hold myself to a very high standard. So potentially my red flags are someone else's yellow or beige flags, but I'm like, nope, won't do it. Nope, won't do it. For myself, there are a series of questions that I ask, and for I am a rope top. I'm happy to be in rope if one of my switch rope partners wants to practice on me, because then I can provide them adequate communication. But I don't like personally being tied. So when someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I see you do Shibari, I want to tie you. Looking at my page, where at all does it say or show that I want anyone to do this when I know what I'm talking about? So the first red flag is someone who is assuming and proposing dominance over you without even getting to know you. This is still a relationship, and this is still a human that you are working with. So if they are immediately being like, or proposing that they want to have a dynamic where they are dominant over you, red flag. Red flag immediately. A question that I ask a lot of people who are in the rope space is, have you hurt someone in rope? What did you do? Why is this a crucial question? Because rope is a form of risk play. If you do not do it safely or correctly, you can harm someone. So it isn't a question on if you hurt someone, it is when. If you haven't hurt someone, that's great. It's going to happen eventually. And how you navigate that speaks more about your character and how you care about those who are vulnerable in your hands than it ever does you actually harming someone. So when someone answers the question of like, oh yeah, I caused nerve damage to my rope bottom, but I made sure that days after that I was sitting with them, that I was providing them the emotional, mental support that they needed. And it is the action in them describing what they did that can speak into their character. If people are avoiding examples of what they've tied before, another red flag. I love boasting about my work. I love it so much. I've asked consent from all my rope bottoms on which pictures they would be comfortable with me sharing as like both a portfolio, but also as a vetting process. If someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I'd like to see your work, are we compatible? I'm like, yes, let me show you all the things I've done. If someone is like, oh, no, I don't have photos, it probably means that those photos have been redacted and the person they used to tie with no longer feels comfortable with them sharing their photos. Clock that. Clock that immediately. It is good to boast about your work. So if someone's hiding it... It
certainly is.
If someone's hiding it...
Yeah.
Sauce. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I'm digesting digesting everything that you said. You're good. You're good.
Chat agrees with
These
me.
are pretty...
Isn't that sus?
Yeah, it's...
Just like an artist. They're like... I want to see your work. Oh, no, I don't show my work. What do you mean you don't show your work? And if they don't have consent of their photos, eventually you are going to have some photos that are for a portfolio, and you negotiate that.
If you had like infinite resources and just like a budget, just an immense budget to do whatever creative project you would ever want to work on regarding any of this, what would you do?
I like adding Shibari to like cosplays and to fantasy. I think that's really fun. So I would want to do like a giant. Oh wait, no, I know what I want to do. Okay, I think it'd be really cool to do like a witchy event where there's candles all around, so you could do wax play if you wanted, and like suspension rigs everywhere, and under the full moon or new moon you would be suspending your rope bottom, and then the rope tops would be like meditating in like a circle of candles, and you could then place like cold gemstones on your rope bottoms depending on like the intentions that you want. I'm not super kinky when it comes to adding a multitude of things to Shibari. If anything, I still look at it from like a therapeutic lens. So this would be so cool to just be hung in Shibari under the moonlight. I think that is like something I would really want to do if I had all the resources to be able to do that.
Yeah. What cosplays would you work on like immediately? Like any come to mind? Just right off the top of your head.
So, with like popular, animes, Gachiakuda, there is the one cleaner who actually uses rope as his ability. And I was like, oh, that'd be so cool to cosplay as them and then have them tangled up in Shibari. Attack on Titan, I have mapped out and workshopped the actual leg harnesses that they have out of rope, and I think it's suspension worthy. I think I can get it done, so I can literally be cosplayed as an Attack on Titan like general and be strung up in the air as though I'm about to like fight a titan. That'd be so cool. That is so cool, guys.
That would be sick. And also, just for those who might be wondering, where can people just find you online? This is the plug.
Of
it
course.
All. Like.
So I am Jackie. You can find me on most socials using the username Jackie_Elana_Chan. You can find most of my Shibari and educational content on Instagram. But I'm also found on Passes, which is an exclusive site where you can get more in-depth tutorials, and it is through a subscription that you can then message me privately with questions. I will provide special one-on-one videos and advice for you, and I'm just really excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me and for the amazing questions.
So thank you everybody for being here, and thank you so much for just having the time to sit down and just chat about all these lovely things that I know you're just so passionate about. And I'm also I love hearing about it, and I love just seeing someone with also a profound passion for all of these things, and just this including, but not limited to, all the educational purposes.
Yeah. What is your community called? Mine is the Sprouts.
The Sprouts. The Pumpkin Patch.
Pumpkin Patch?
October. It's...
Oh,
yeah.
That's fun. Okay.
I'm yes.
Do you have a typical sign-off for Twitch?
A typical sign-off? I generally tell them I love them so very much, and I blow them kisses.
Okay, do you mind if I do my sign-off too?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
Okay, hello little pumpkin patch. My sign-off is plant yourself where you thrive, continue to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And as we conclude our interview today, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you continue to traverse today with positivity and encouraging yourself to grow in some facet. It was really awesome being here. Thank you so much.
Yes, and I absolutely, as always, love you all. Absolutely adore you, and take care. Have a lovely rest of your guys' day, and I'll be in touch.
Kisses!